like Yu Yu Hakusho.
We didn't even talk about it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, let's speed through. Let's just speed through. First impressions of the live action.
I love it. I think it's great.
Same. I'm remarkably pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. Though, disclaimer, I've not read the manga or watched the anime, and I don't know if that's something that would affect my enjoyment of the live action. But as someone who's just watched the live action, really enjoyed it so far. I think it's really wacky and fun.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of my experience, I vaguely remember the anime. Like, it's one of those anime series that if you asked me for details, I couldn't give you. A bit like Tenchi Muyo. I vaguely remember it, but I couldn't tell you any character names or anything. All I remember is him in a house with a bunch of girls. Like, of course, that's what I take away from that.
The original harem.
Yeah. But with Yu Yu Hakusho, I remember the opening, I remember the gang and stuff, but yeah, details escapes me. But again, after watching the first episode of live action, I watched the first episode of the anime, and it's surprising how much they draw from it. So yeah, it seems pretty faithful, I'd say. Not like one for one, but it's pretty faithful so far.
Yeah, this is absolutely something that I'm gonna see through to the end. I did think when I watched it, I was gonna be like, I'll watch the first episode and that'll be me. I'll be done with it. But I've actually already watched episode 2 because I actually, like I said, I really did enjoy how good it was. You might disagree. You might be a hardcore manga fan. You might disagree with how faithful it is or how good it is. I might actually go on to read the manga now. I'm always looking for something to just read, like when I've got some downtime, and that seems like a pretty good thing to do, considering I've actually read every good manhwa out
there. The only other pointer that just came to mind quickly was how graphical it is. Like, not to say like it's a hard R or something, but him getting hit by the truck, I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, that was a real like unexpectedly visceral thing. Like the sounds
there's
and
no
just
cutaway,
no filter or anything.
Yeah.
They didn't even put like a hentai black bar over him.
Or pixelate it or anything. Yeah. So I was quite surprised at that. I know we spoke about it just before we hit record, but the fight choreograph and the wire work is just exceptional.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like, you can, it's one of those things where you can absolutely tell that it's wire work. Like, obviously you don't see wires or something like that, but it's like, I think that a lot of media that uses wire work for their combat, they try very hard to make it look realistic, just outside of the possibilities of being able to be done by a human. Whereas this is like, you've got people getting thrown to the floor and then they'll like run sideways along the floor and then back up onto their feet and stuff like that. It just works. It just works.
I love that that, like you say, that unrealistic movement, but can only be done by wire work.
Yeah.
A bit like some Power Rangers and is it Takatsu projects and stuff. Some of it I think is I really like the look of it. It's just satisfying.
I think that's very anime though.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So like that's why and I've said this on the show before. My experience with live action adaptations when they're done in the West, it's been pretty negative up until obviously One Piece. But even if it's not been the best stuff, whenever I've watched a live action adaptation which has been made in Japan, I've always really enjoyed it because it's like they're very self-aware of what it is, and they don't try and make it less like cheesy or camp. It is just like, this is how it is in the anime, this is how it is in the manga, that's how it's got to be in the anime. In the live action adaptation.
They tend to do a pretty decent job, I find, as well. So yeah, it's good.
Check it out.
Check it out.
I will. I'm going to finish it off. We can do a full series episodes in the new year at some point. There we go. Write that
Yeah.
one down. There we go. One episode already in the bag.